Hello and welcome. Today we're reading another story from Rootabaga Pigeons by Carl Sandburg. And the people in today's story are Yang Yang, Hoo Hoo, their mother, the shadow of the goose, the left foot of the shadow of the goose, and an Oklahoma home. And the title of our story today is Yang Yang and Hoo Hoo, or the song of the left foot of the shadow of the goose in Oklahoma. Yang Yang and Hoo Hoo were two girls who used to live in Battle Axe, Michigan, before they moved to Wagon Wheel Gap, Colorado, and back to Broken Doors, Ohio, and then over to Open Windows, Iowa, and at last down to Alfalfa Clover, Oklahoma, where they say our Oklahoma home is in Oklahoma. One summer morning, Yang Yang and Hoo Hoo woke up saying to each other, our Oklahoma home is in Oklahoma. And it was that morning the shadow of a goose flew in at the open window, just over the bed where Yang Yang and Hoo Hoo slept, with their eyes shut all night, and woke with their eyes open in the morning. The shadow of the goose fluttered a while along the ceiling, flickered a while along the wall, and then, after one more flutter and flicker, put itself on the wall like a picture of a goose put there to look at. Only it was a living picture, and it made its neck stretch in a curve and then stretch straight. Yang Yang, cried Yang Yang. Yang Yang. Hoo Hoo, sang Hoo Hoo. Hoo Hoo. And while Hoo Hoo kept on calling a soft, low, coaxing Hoo Hoo, Yang Yang kept on crying a hard, noisy, nagging Yang Yang, till everybody in the house upstairs and down, and everybody in the neighbor houses heard her Yang Yanging. The shadow of the goose lifted its left wing a little, lifted its right foot a little, got up on its goose legs, and walked around and around in a circle on its goose feet. And every time it walked around in a circle, it came back to the same place it started from, with its left foot or right foot in the same foot spot it started from. Then it stayed there in the same place, like a picture put there to look at, only it was a living picture, with its neck sometimes sticking up straight in the air and sometimes bending in a long, curving bend. Yang Yang threw the bed covers off, slid out of bed, and ran downstairs, Yang Yanging for her mother. But Hoo Hoo sat up in bed laughing, counting her pink toes to see if there were 10 pink toes the same as the morning before. And while she was counting her pink toes, she looked out of the corners of her eyes at the shadow of the goose on the wall. By and by, little Hoo Hoo said, "Good morning, Hoo Hoo, for you." And Hoo Hoo again. "I was looking at the window when you came in. I saw you put yourself on the wall like a picture. I saw you begin to walk and come back where you started from, with your neck sticking straight up and your neck bending in a bend. I give you good morning. I blow a hoo hoo to you. I blow two of a hoo hoo to you." Then the shadow of a goose, as if to answer good morning, and as if to answer what Hoo Hoo meant by saying, "I blow two of a hoo hoo to you," stretched its neck, sticking up straight and long, longer than any time yet, and then bent its neck in more of a bend than any time yet. And all the time Hoo Hoo was sitting in the bed, feeling of her toes with her fingers to see if she had one toe for every finger, and to see if she had one pink little toe to match her one pink little finger, and to see if she had one fat, flat, big toe to match her one fat, flat thumb. Then, when the room was all quiet, the shadow of the goose lifted its left foot and began singing. singing just as the shadow of a goose always sings with the left foot, very softly with the left foot. So softly you must listen with the softest little listeners you have deep inside your ears. And this was the song. This was the old-time, old-fashioned left foot song of the shadow of the goose, sang for Hoo-Hoo. Be a yang, yang if you want to. Be a hoo-hoo if you want to. The yang, yang's always yang in the morning. The hoo-hoo's always hoo in the morning. Early in the mornings the putters sit pudding on your nose, pudding on your ears, pudding in your eyes and your lashes on your eyes, pudding on the chins of your chinny chins. And after singing the left foot song, the shadow of the goose walked around in a long circle, came back where it started from, stopped, and stood still with the proud standstill of a goose, and then stretched its neck, sticking up straight and long, longer than any time yet, and then bent its neck and twisted in longer bends than any time yet. Then the shadow took itself off the wall, fluttered and flickered along the ceiling and over the bed, flew out of the window and was gone, leaving Hoo-Hoo all alone sitting up in the bed, counting her pink toes. Out of the corners of her eyes, she looked up at the wall of the room, at the place where the shadow of the goose put itself like a picture. And there she saw a shadow spot. She looked and saw it was a left foot, the same left foot that had been singing the left foot song. Soon, Yang Yang came yang-yanging into the room, holding to her mother's apron. Hoo-Hoo told her mother all the happenings that happened. The mother wouldn't believe it. Then Hoo-Hoo pointed up to the wall, to the left foot, the shadow spot left behind by the shadow of the goose when it took itself off the wall. And now when Yang Yang and Hoo-Hoo sleep all night with their eyes shut and wake up in the morning with their eyes open, sometimes they say, "Our Oklahoma home is in Oklahoma." And sometimes they sing, "Be a yang, yang, and yang, yang if you want to. Be a hoo-hoo and hoo-hoo if you want to." And here's a picture of the shadow, the spot on the wall.